in this video we're going to be talking about how to do Ukemi, which are your falls, your break falls, your forward rolls, your backward rolls, and side falls, and so on and so forth, okay? So let's get started. Alright, so we're going to start with Koho Ukemi, which is going to be your back fall, and we're going to start on the ground. Right, safest place to start. Now, what I want to do is I want to get this rocking motion down first, okay? I want to get this motion down. I want to feel comfortable with this because our back fall is going to come from this, all right? So, my goal is I want to keep my hands crossed or my hands out like this. I'm slapping the mat with the palm of my hands and my forearms, okay? So as I fall down, as my lower back, or if you have a gi on with your belt, as that belt hits the ground, that's when I slap, okay? Now, it's also important to understand that you need to keep your chin down, so a good practice is to look down at your belt knot. That way you know that your chin is tucked, and you can slap the mats without a problem. Another thing you want to do when you're doing your Koho Ukemi is that when you slap the mats, you want to slap the mats hard, and you want your arms about this position here, okay? You don't want it too high up. It's going to put too much strain on your shoulders. That's not going to be good for you. You want to keep it a little bit closer to your legs. All right, so I sit up. As my lower belt hits the ground, or my lower back hits the ground, I slap, keep my chin down, and the harder you slap, the better. Now, moving on to squatting position. I'm just in a squatting position, so I'm still kind of close to the ground. I'm going to sit down on my heels and slap the mats. I come back up. If you can stand up directly, that is the best thing you can do, okay? If not, you can put your hands on the ground and stand up. Now, moving on to the standing Koho Ukemi is this time I want to take a step back. And I'm going to sit behind this heel, and I'm going to do the break fall, the same concept. Palm down, right? Think about concrete. I never want to slap concrete. I can slap concrete like this, but I'm not going to use this bony part of my hand to slap anything, right? So, I'm going to take a step back. I'm going to sit on that heel, and I'm going to slap. Take a step back, sit on that heel, and I'm going to slap. It's very important that you keep your chin tucked throughout this whole entire thing. Now, we're going to move on to Yoko Ukemi, which is going to be your side fall. And same exact thing, we're going to start from the ground. Now, I like to show people when they have their backs close to the wall. You're not touching the wall, you're about an inch or two off of the wall, okay? You're going to keep your feet just like this. We never cross our feet, okay? And I'm going to fall to the side. As I fall to the side, it's going to be the same concept. I'm slapping the mat with this part of my arm hard, right? I want to disperse the energy. I want to keep my chin tucked, and I want to get my head to whiplash and hit the floor. So as I fall, I put my opposite hand on my belly, I fall to the side, and I slap the mat. What the wall does behind me is it prevents me from rolling back and side. And now I'm sloppy, okay? I want to really work on that side fall. So I want to make sure if the wall is behind me, that it's going to stop me from having a bad technique. So I'm going to fall to the left. I keep my head off the ground, my chin is tucked, and my feet never cross. Also, another thing I notice when a lot of new people start is as they fall, they flare out their arm and they post their elbow. And they do this, which is incorrect. You're putting a lot of strain on your elbow, a lot of strain on your shoulder. If it was concrete, you would not be doing this because you would feel it. So as I fall, my arms extended, you can keep it next to your leg. So as you fall, you slap. Same thing to the right side. I keep my left hand on my belly. As I fall, I slap the mats. Okay? Again, you don't want to do this. You want to keep your hands out in front of you. And as I'm going to fall, I lift my hand up to slap. Very important. I lift it up, slap, come back up. Alright? Now, another option you have from the ground, make sure I'm not going to bang my head here. Another option you have is going to be to throw your legs up in the air. We'll go to another angle. Throw your legs up in the air, and you're gonna do your side fall. So I throw my legs up, side fall. I'm gonna throw my leg up, side fall. So if you notice, I'm going on my shoulder. All right. From here, we're going to move to standing. Now, you're going to be in a squatting position, and you have to think about your legs as like a chair, right? Chair has four legs. I'm going to be here, and I'm going to chop one off. So I'm going to move that across. So I'm going to move my left in front of my right leg, and my left arm is going to follow. My right hand is going to be on my belly. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to slowly lower myself to the ground with my supporting leg, which would be my right leg. So I'm not just completely collapsing from here. I'm bringing my hand and my legs across, and I'm going to slowly stay here and follow my side. My right comes across both my leg and my arm. I squat on my supporting leg, and I fall to the side. Okay? Again, remember to not land on your elbows, especially from standing. It's going to hurt you. All right, so these are some of the break falls, okay, that are very, very crucial for you, but you still need to cover your front fall, okay? Now, moving on to Sambo Ukemi, is going to be your forward fall. And again, we're starting from our knees. This is scary for a lot of people, and we need to break a lot of habits from here, because if you fall on the ground, most people are doing this. They're trying to stop themselves, which seems like a good thing to do if you're not being pushed or shoved or thrown. But if there's a lot of force driving you forward, you definitely don't want to do that, because you're going to pop an elbow, break a wrist, dislocate a shoulder, many different things can happen. So from here, I'm going to keep my core tight. I'm going to be on my knees. I'm going to bring my elbows in. I'm going to keep my palms facing away from me. As I fall forward, I'm going to slap the mat hard to disperse the energy again. Okay, so I'm going to let my body fall down, and I'm going to slap the mat. Okay, you have to keep your body relaxed but tense at the same time. That's going to come with practice, okay, the more you do it. Now, from there on, we're going to move into a squatting position, okay? So that way, you're still kind of close to the ground, but you're a little bit higher than being on your knees, right? So I stand up a little bit. I'm going to fall forward. Okay, until I get comfortable enough to where I can be all the way standing up. Let myself go, slap the mat without injury, okay? So from here, I'm just gonna fall down, stay constant, hands are in front of me. My core is tight, if you notice. My belly never hit the ground, okay? So same thing here. That way, I'm gonna prevent a lot more injuries. Now, the next one is going to be our forward row, okay? So moving on to the forward row is I'm going to start on my knees, okay? My left hand is going to go in between my legs. You can see my hands coming out here, and my left shoulder's on the ground, all right? Left hand comes here, looking away. I'm going to push off my foot. I'm going to roll from my left shoulder to my right shoulder, and I'm going to slap with my right hand. And if you notice how I finished this forward roll was in Yoko Ukemi. I finished it like I'm on my side fall, okay? So, knees on the ground, right hand goes in between my legs, palm up, shoulder on the ground. I'm gonna push off my foot, okay? And it's gonna end up being my right foot, the last one that I push off. And again, same thing, I need to slap the mat, land on my side, feet never crossed, head's not on the ground, all soft. So, from here, we're gonna move on to standing. I need to put my left foot forward, my right foot back. Now my left hand is going to go to the floor and it's going to point back. There's going to be a natural bend in my elbow, just like there is on my knee, okay? And then from here, I'm going to be keeping my chin tucked, looking towards my right shoulder, and I want my toes pointing forward because I'm going to propel myself forward. A lot of people, when they start out, they want to look this way, and they're not keeping their chin tucked. But the reason you want to keep your chin tucked, you want to create a little circle, right? You want to be a little ball as you roll. So I have my hand on the ground. This is going to be my slapping hand. I lean forward, tucking my chin, and landing on the way that I would be with my Yoko Ukemi, right? My side fall. So all these things you should be practicing, left side and right side. Right foot forward, left foot back. Right hand is going to mimic the knee, how it bends. Right hand on the ground. I'm going to tuck my chin, looking towards my shoulder, leaning on my front foot into my side fall position, okay? Now, these are some of the drills that you can do on your own, okay?